They see themselves as open-minded, understanding people who will give blacks their due. Why, I've had lots of black friends. They will give you a tale of wonderful blacks who they genuinely have deep affection for, and they believe that they simply would not have those feelings if they were racist. They overlook the fact that they think this wonderful black was different from most blacks, you see. These matters are far too deep for the masses to consciously rest upon. For our world is shallow, and most minds, black or white, do not have the training to look beneath the surface to the core of matters. Understand these truths when dealing with whites in America, and you will be able to free yourself from your own hostile notions and frustrations. Understanding will alleviate your pain and anger for whites, and your pain and anguish for white will soon dissipate. This faulty educational system leaves Africans feeling inferior on the same deep sub-level of unconsciousness. Learn your own ancestors' version of history, and you will no longer be held hostage to white academic superiority. In fighting his unconscious feelings of inferiority, the black racist becomes angry, bitter, and bigoted himself. He will magnify insignificant racial incidences in his inferior mind and find phantom racism where racism does not exist. He looks at the mountain of white superiority placed before him by the educational system and concludes in his ignorance of his own true and accurate history that whites are evil and wicked. That accounts for white folks' success, he tells himself. He foolishly concludes that whites accomplish their feats only by way of trickery or at the expense of other races. Second of the major reasons that whites should feel superior to blacks is due to our very own action. We wear their names, adore their light skins, and straighten our hair. That is not enough. We will serve them, buy from them, and trust their judgment long before we would another black person. As long as African people the world over honor white males by clinging to their surnames, and as so long as Africans continue to consider white looks as ideal, i.e. straightened hair and light skin, etc., we will continue to be viewed as second-rate humans, simply because we view ourselves as second-rate humans. A free-thinking and sensible people would not hold others up higher than themselves. If you doubt the importance of these mental errors, or if you do not consider them to be injurious to the African psyche, then I challenge you to find 90% of white males who wear African surnames, or 85% of white women who fashion afros, braids, and dreadlocks, or 90% of whites who now know more African history than European history. The bottom line is that most whites see themselves as the best, and unfortunately, we agree with them. There have been notions among some of our leaders that blacks cannot be racist because we do not have the power to effect negative changes in whites' lives. While that may be true, I do not understand how one could deny the obvious. A rock is a rock, whether it is the size of a dime or a 2-ton boulder. We miss the point when we spend time playing with words. The judgment that must be arrived at is that a racist is a small and embittered person who harbors deeply rooted tensions and anxieties. Yet, that person is afraid to look inward for the solutions and answers to the life's questions as they pertain to her own growth and development. A racist must deal inwardly with herself and address her own self-hatred, whether they be black or white. A black racist is also trapped in the self-made, self-contained mental stockade. He thinks that white man or the man is out to hold him back. He ignores the Bill Cosbys, the Oprah Winfreys, and the John Johnsons. He cannot follow the examples of success because he does not believe in himself. He does not believe he has the potential to rise above the so-called white man. He too will buy into the many myths and lies and use them to direct his life. It does not matter how many successful African Americans cross his path. He will be blind to their accomplishments because he is too busy searching for reasons to justify his own inadequacies. Deep down inside, he wishes he were a white man. He believes that he would have to be white in order to live a truly happy life in this country. These are not necessarily conscious thoughts and inferiorities, but his feelings will not betray him. He does not have a clue as to why his life is such a failure. If he would seek counsel into the depths of his own soul, he would quickly come to the realization that he is his own worst enemy. He was born with all the tools needed to put his life in order, yet he will curse others outwardly and defy himself inwardly. Unknowingly, he is a kindred spirit of the white races. He has a list of statistics and stories that he believes will support his pitiful racist mentality. However, he cannot escape the myths that go against him. He truly thinks whites are born smarter than blacks. He's secretly attracted to blonde-haired, blue-eyed women because he believes he is elevated when he is with them. A black marrying a white out of true love is altogether different, although it is seldom the case. From a male standpoint, the interracial crossing is usually reflective of just how inferior black and white races truly are. The average black will go with the white woman because in his mind he is showing the white male that he is his equal. He has captured the white man's prized possession, the white woman. And again, remember that his aim is to be like or mimic the white male. Man, he is squatting in tall cotton now. Meanwhile, the inferior white male will often seek to bed a black woman because in doing so, he is being elevated to having pleased the black man's woman. To his warped way of thinking, the black man is seen as the man of all men. And if he can actually please the black man's woman, he is indeed christened a man. Insanity is the cornerstone of racism. Stupidity, its very foundation.